Okay, so we're going to show you how to upgrade an ME project into an MX device. To do that, first thing we have to generate our configuration because we see the red dot here. So to generate the configuration, we have one of two options. Once we highlight the device, we can right click it and go to configuration, generate configuration, or we can hit the generate configuration button from the menu. And that would generate our configuration. If there is no issues in the configuration, that the device will generate properly and the red dot will disappear. There will be 0 errors, 0 warnings. And if there is issues, then you have to go fix it and regenerate the device. So first step, your device has to be clean. There is no errors, no warnings in it. So then we start converting the device. To convert the device, very straightforward. We right click on the device and go to configuration, change type. We click on change type. We highlight the D20MX and then we click OK. As you can see, there is a red banner that shows up around the device, and the red dot shows up that the device configuration is not generated. Now here is where we're going to say that we would like this ME device to be LAN based when it changes to the MX, and we decide what version of the MX we're going to change it to. So I'm changing it into 1.6. You can put whatever notes you want. And if you need extra licensing like multi-partition licensing or any of the D2X classic application support, then that's where you would select your licensing. In this case, we're not going to take any extra licensing and we're just going to click next. Now we have to, because this is a LAN, we have to decide what is the IP address. So I'm going to put 192.168.2.0 as a segment, and from 255 to 55.0. Now we have set up our network and the device is ready to be converted. It asks us what is the part number of the device, so we can put the part number of the device. If it's not a 3001, then you can select either 3003 or 3005. And then we put the firmware. We can select the firmware. It's SAN001160. So we have changed from an SAB to an SAN firmware. And under the LAN settings, LAN specific, that's where we put the IP address of the device, what we would like it to be. So in this case, I'm just going to pick up a default IP address, 192.168.2.1. Of course, if you want redundant, you would enable the two redundant LAN A, LAN B, and add two different LAN addresses to it. From a services perspective, under the 9940, sorry, let me show you where we get this document from. So this is the 9940140 manual, and on page 156, they specify that if you need to set up your upgrade, you have to make sure that you add these ports, the 22 and the 922 ports. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we'll add these two ports. So we'll add the Westmaint SSH 22 port and the command SSH 922 port. And then we click next, and now the device is generating. So all we did is we set up the type of the card, we've set up the LAN settings, and we've set up the services that we need to have in the device. Now the device is being converted. Okay, so it says that the D20, you have successfully completed the D20MX device. It has been successfully generated. So now our device have changed from an ME to an MX. Like we said previously, once that change takes over, there is parameters that are added, and then there is the parameters that are deleted. Now you have to review these parameters in the log XLS file, which you can export from the menu that will show all the changes that took place in the device. Okay, so the red banner disappeared, and we have 0 errors, 73 warnings. The device has changed successfully. You want to go through all 73. Like I said, you can save to a log XLX and go through all the items in your log. One final thing, because this is a networked device, you have to do 100% generate. Okay, so we see this yellow exclamation mark that basically flags up that the network 100% generation hasn't been done. To do that, before we do that, we have to enable B100 to access the list of applications from the side. Make sure that the show disabled application is checked, and then go to the B100 application, which is the Internet Protocol Stack, this one. Right click, make sure it's enabled. So if I go back and I uncheck the show disabled, I will see my D.20 peripheral, my Internet Protocol Stack, System Point Database, and Westmain application. And now I can generate my device. So I'll go to the 100% generate. And as you can see, two things happened. The red dot disappeared, which means my device has been generated with 0 errors, 0 warnings. And the exclamation mark on the folder disappeared, which means that all the networking is set up properly. As you can see, I can hover over the networking part and I can see what is the LAN A address, and I can see the firmware type, the firmware version of the device. This all has been done, and this is how you do your upgrade.